Right, welcome to the Burnley part of my job. I was just leaving Royal Blackburn after loading up at various departments such as Path Lab, medical records, microbiology, one of my colleagues in testing a 100% electric only van by Nissan. So what it's like to drive, I don't know. Maybe I've got to go before it goes. For this bit of job, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so called at all these departments and loaded up the car, and now we're leaving for Burnley General. It's about a 15-mile journey along the M65 motorway along Haslam Road. Again, regular viewers of my YouTube channel will recognise this road. This is where I fuel up usually. And as I said, currently the price, I don't understand why the price is going up. It's £1.16.9 a litre now. Apparently the price of a barrel of oil, crude oil, is halved in the last 12 months, so I can't understand why, apart from the fact that they want to screw us, which is about right. I can't understand why the price at the pump is on the rise again. All that fuss earlier in the year about, and back in the last year I guess, about the fact that it will be £100 a litre in within weeks. Well, that never happened. I think the cheaper it got was £1.01 pence per litre. I don't think it went below £1, even at the supermarkets. Now, supermarket fuel, there's another subject. I don't know whether it's true or whether it's just gossip, Chinese whispers, you name it. I don't know whether it's true, whether supermarket fuel is of a lower grade than non-supermarket. In other words, it's 95 RON, just the same, but whether it's lower grade because of the price, or whether it's the same grade and they just get it cheaper because they can buy more quantities, I don't know. But generally I don't use it on the bike, and that's because there's stuff said in the bike fraternity about the fact that supermarket fuel is only used at the last resort. In other words, if you need fuel and you're miles from another garage, then use it, but only use it like in emergency. If anybody knows any different, then please comment. Because you can save over a period of time. You know, if it's a couple of pence a litre cheaper, once every now and again, it's not going to make much dent in your wallet or otherwise. But if you're doing it, if you fill it up every week, well then over the period of the season, you can save some money. But if it's going to harm or make your performance, the bike's performance deteriorate, then it's not worth it. So we're on the M65 heading east. two lanes here. I was saying earlier that it's down to two lanes. Eventually, after this bit, it goes to three. It goes back to two lanes after Rose Grove. You know, instead of saying it 3 lanes all the way. Because in 1982, 81, 82, when they built this particular stretch from here, it would have cost a lot less to make it 3 lanes than it would do, obviously, to increase it from 2 to 3 now. So the temperature is 10 degrees, so we're still, they said between 10 and 11, so they got it right, and the weather's good, it's not bad. Graham's at our house doing the building, so that's good. He's able to crash on today. You never know, hopefully today might finish the job. Very frustrating for him, must be, because obviously he wants to finish the job and get paid and get on with the next job. You know, so chatting with someone in the car, unless he's on his own. So seen. He's nowhere to be seen. He's up there. I can just spot him now. You won't be able to see it on the cameras, wide angle lens, but he's gone. In other words, he must be doing at least 80 miles an hour. Now, there's again, we talked about this earlier, about 70 to 80, or 70 to 79 will allow 10%, so if it's 70, that's 77, 78, whatever. But again, if you're driving like a prick, as he was, then even if you're driving well within the speed limit, you will draw attention from the police, and rightly so, you should be pulled. Because, you know, there's no excuse for bad driving. I mean, to me, again, I'm old-fashioned. I drive this car. Just hold on, it's a two-way radio.
Sorry, driver, say again slowly. The antenatal clinic at Blackburn, over. Right, if you go into the kitchen entrance, then drop down the floor onto the first floor, it's just underneath there. Very much.
Right, where was I? Yeah, an old-fashioned kind of driver. I drive this car in exactly the same way as I drive my own private car, because quite apart from wanting to look after this car, especially as it's getting on now, you know, it's 18,500 miles off 200,000 miles, and it's 8 years old, and it works hard. The stuff that it carries is amazing. It really is. Anyway, so I drive this car the same as I drive my own car, and there's, apart from the fact that to me it's the only way to drive, apart from that, you get more out of driving. Now, having done further, you know, like advanced driving or riding, and we did some defence, what they call defensive driving at work some years ago, where, you know, they teach you what I already knew about the system, you know, the tug. They say tug. If someone says to you, you should use the tug system, I say, what's that? So, well, tug is take information, U is use information, and G is give information. Now, an example of giving information is like, now we're coming down to a roundabout and I'm going left. Now, the vehicles that are coming away there on my left, they need to know that you're not going straight on. So in other words, you're not going to cross their path, so they can proceed, turn right, go up the hill we've just come down. So you're giving information. Now, I always remember when I did my advance, because there's different ways of looking at this. I've indicated now, right, now he decided to go through, which, you know, he didn't make me brake or anything like that. Now, if you're on the motorway and you're coming up to a junction where you're going to be leaving the motorway. Now, if you indicate left and there's drivers behind you, there's obviously no one in front of you, you're on a motorway, you're all going in the same direction. But if you indicate left, well, there's nobody actually benefiting from your indicating, because those behind you are either coming off with you or carrying on the motorway, and therefore the fact that they're behind you, and they should be behind you the correct distance, i.e. 2 or 3 seconds behind, whatever, depending on conditions. If it's wet, well then it should be a bit more. But if they're behind you and you don't indicate, well then if they're surprised and shocked or at you turning or entering that slip road, well then that proves that they're in the wrong lane, too close to you. Sorry, they're too close to you. Now if they're driving properly, just because you're leaving motorway doesn't mean a damn thing to them. They just follow you. So when I did my advance, I always remember the examiner that took for my test, Mr. Martin, and he was a retired police motorcyclist, many years experience, and as far as I'm concerned, the police motorcyclist is amongst the best riders on the roads. They have to be. So anyone who says to you about, your style of riding, then you need to listen to him. And he said to me, he said, he was behind me, and he says, I don't want you indicating because I'm not there, kind of thing. And that kind of went against what my instincts told me. My instincts told me to always indicate no matter what. But what it does, and you get so many people doing this at roundabouts, indicating too early, too late, or not at all. But in the case of too early, too late, what it does, it causes confusion, and they call it indicator clutter. So, so unless they always said, if you're going exiting a roundabout, if it's before midday, 11 o'clock, then you don't need to indicate right to say you're going around it. But if you're going to say 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, then you certainly do need to indicate right, so that traffic coming out of a junction that you're crossing need to know that you're coming across their bounds, if you will. Put that idiot on it. Oh, is it any wonder why they have accidents? But of course, like I said earlier this morning, it's our fault. If I hit a cyclist, it's always the car driver's fault. Always. In my day, when I was a young man on a bicycle, you couldn't even go out at night without lights because you'd be pulled up by police. Now they just they don't bother. They don't bother one bit. I'm glad to see they're repairing that road there. So, where was I? What was I talking about? be no good as Ronnie Corbett, would I? And this is always a bad area. As you can see, you've got people walking it road, you've got people about to cross, you've got a car coming here, you've got another car coming, the crossing's clean now, so you go for it. There's a bus parked up here. So all in all, it's just a horrendous area where potential for collisions. So you've got to be absolutely, take your time. So yeah, indicating. So you know, you've got to, the fact that you only indicate, what they're saying is on the advance bit, what they're saying is if you indicate, then it proves that you've observed that there is need for it. In other words, you've fully scanned the road ahead of you, behind you and everywhere. Whereas if you just indicate for the sake, whereas, you know, a colleague of mine, alright, that's path lab sorted. We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. No, we're not. That's tomorrow. Down the yellow brick road. No, we're off to General Office now. There's only usually one day, Tuesdays usually, when there's anything to collect, i.e. timesheets. Not timesheets, wages and things. I guess timesheets, yeah. So, but you have to call, because if you don't call, well then guess what? There'll be something there. No, there was nothing there. But again, as I said, if you don't go, there will be. But it's nice to see the people behind on reception. Just have a nice chat, say good morning. All part of your day. You know, if you don't connect with people, say good morning, or you know, just pleasantries, then to me you're not doing your job right. Doing a job is not just a case of just doing the job. You have to actually get on with people, especially in this job. You're working with the public. You know, I think it's far, even though you might not feel like it, it's far better to see staff of a hospital, whatever grade you are. You know, in our case, we're drivers, porters, domestics, or cleaners, there's nothing nicer than to see a happy, smiley, cheerful face going about his or her job, because people who visit hospital, they're often vulnerable. They've got loved ones in hospital and they're visiting, you know, and they've got loved ones who were quite poorly, and the last thing they want to see is staff walking around like as though they couldn't care less. You know, it's yeah. At last they're doing this role, but I don't know why there's hold up here. It's not usually this busy. People, oh, can't go down that hole. Oh no, oh, it's shocking. You know, it's I might not come out of it. Goodness sake. Anyway, we're on time. It's now 11:15. I like to get to the post room, which is where we're heading now, for no later really than 20 past, because the people in the post room want to be getting on with sorting the internal mail that I've got on board here. I've got 7 baskets full of internal mail today, quite a lot. So they need to get that sorted and get it distributed around Burnley General Hospital and beyond. So it's part of a chain, you know. It's a cog. And recently I took part in some filming at Royal Blackburn. I agreed to do it because I thought, well, transport, we never get any mention only when things are negative, and that's not me being negative, it's fact. So I volunteered to do this filming, and it's all tied in with this mandatory training, and it's about what you like best about working at the hospital, and what do you think of you know, all the important bits you need to think about. And it was a thoroughly enjoyable session with them, with these people with the cameras and what have you. And what I was going to say now. Why were I talking about that? Yeah, we're talking about morale and sort of about coming to work and looking cheerful and trying, you know, even though you might not feel like it, you've got to put a face on and what have you. But I can't just remember what we're talking about now. It'll come back to me. When it does, I'll continue. So now we're here at another part of the hospital. Go for the pulse room, and if you go left up here, that takes you to the transport department at Burnley. It's blocked at the moment, so hopefully when I'm ready to go up, it'll be clear, hopefully. So here we are. The catering, kitchen departments are on your right. It's the canteen up there. So here we are. So back in the morning. Right, so we're off to Burnley Transport now. I believe John's off today, so Ian's at base. So going to medical records now for any case notes going to St. Peter's. Usually on a Thursday, there can be quite a lot, but we're a day behind this week because of the bank holiday, so I don't know whether that will make any difference, but there we are. Bit of a light shower again on the windscreen. Always bad here for parking, really bad. No option but to park here. Packing them all. Right. So we're a couple of boxes for St Peter's. Case notes. So we're off now to St Peter's. Nice new padlock today for me, for the truck there. I'll be able to bring mine home. I've been using mine, so I'll be able to use mine for the correct purpose that we bought it for, and that was for fastening our crash helmets to the bike when we can't get the crash helmets in the top box or the panniers. So we're on Casterton Avenue and we're turning left to go down Colne Road into the centre of Burnley or St Peter's. I think the blossom at this time of year, springtime, is really nice. It's just that with days like it was yesterday, wet and very windy, it doesn't last very long. Whenever I come to Burnley, I'm always reminded of my late dad, you know, my dearly departed father. Because my dad was Burnley born and bred, and you know, this is flashy. How you doing? You alright? Yeah, I'm alright. I didn't know you were alive, were Ian? Yeah. Yeah, he was trimming the other week and they'd no eye protection on. I said, did they not give you eye protection? Oh, he said, well, they don't give it. Anyway.
They should do.
They should do.
I'll tell him when I see him, Paul.
Yeah. See you later. what I were on about there is that guy crossing over, Gordon, although his nickname's Flash for obvious reasons. His lad, who was a right grand lad, he was strimming up at the hospital using, I think it was a petrol strimmer, and he'd no eye protection on, and all it needs is for that strimmer to kick something up from the grass, and it could potentially blind him, crazy. And when I asked him about it, it was clear that he's not the type. He's a right nice lad. He's not the type to be, I'd be demanding. I'd be saying, I want, the right equipment, but obviously Ian's not like that. He doesn't want to rock the boat. Well, I'm afraid his health is far more important than upsetting someone. It's law. You should have eye protection and hearing protection. For someone who has tinnitus, I can't stress that enough. And that kind of thing, I just can't be done with. They've got people in such a state now, in this day and age, that laws and doing things right just doesn't happen now. And if you say something, it's you that's like in the wrong. Oh, he's a troublemaker, he's Paul, it's nothing to do with him, No, I like things to be done right. I'm not a troublemaker. And if that makes me a troublemaker, well then I'm proud to be a troublemaker. Poor management. Management should insist on the employees should be protected at all times. Otherwise they're culpable. That's what they don't understand. It's far better to keep people safe and secure than to do otherwise and face legal action in the courts. Crazy. Right, so so now we're here at the back of St. Peter's. This is the church here on the right hand side. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, probably not. But where these trees are, behind those trees on the right, is the church of St. Peter. There it is. And it's one of these, what they call a polyclinic, and there's a sports centre in it as well. So it's a big building. Opened in 2006, I believe. So 9-year-old. Open the Graceland gates, as I call them. It's getting quite warm now. It's I'll tell you what temperature it is. Oh, it's only 11, but it feels warmer because there's much lighter wind and the sun's shining, so it makes you feel a whole lot better. Yesterday here it was unbelievable. It was absolutely lashing it down. Windy, and when it gets windy here, by golly, does it funnel it, because of the tall building. 6 stories at this end, 9 at the other, and by golly, it were windy. It were that. Our cheery friend has just gone past. Right, back shortly. Right, that's St. Peter sorted. a bit of a quiet week this week, records wise. Just got 2 boxes of case notes that's come away, so it must be that the bank holiday, a lot of clinics haven't happened, so next week will be back to normal. Right for Graceland to open its gates. Yeah, I was saying before about my dad. He was born and bred in Burnley, and although he, the level of true love that he had for my mum wouldn't move from Blackburn to Burnley. So even though my dad had like a civil servant job over here, because you must remember that in 1950s Lancashire there were no motorways, of course, and getting to Burnley and back, or from Blackburn to Burnley, wasn't as easy as it is now. The roads were like motorways, but also the vehicles. You were talking even on motorways, the older vehicles, 60 miles an hour, flat out really. They weren't as reliable as they are now. So all in all, travelling between towns, even though they're only 18 miles away from each other, wasn't like, it was like a day out. So for my dad to move to Blackburn from Burnley shows the level of love that he had for my mum, because Burnley folk are really, they're proud of their town, quite rightly so. There's a rivalry because of, I think, mainly the football between Burnley and Blackburn. So all that put together, it's like someone from Yorkshire coming and living in Lancashire, or vice versa. More so the other way around. So whenever, as children, whenever we went visiting relatives, we were always in this area, Worsthorne and Briarfield, and because of that, whenever I come here, I have lots of happy memories, and it feels like home. It does. It feels just like home. That guy nearly pulled out on the car in front of me, and he thought, well, I failed that time, let's do it to this one, me. It's turning into a nice day. It's 13 degrees. Wow. 56 degrees Fahrenheit. That is when you think yesterday it was, I think it was 7, so it's almost double what it was yesterday from yesterday. So a massive improvement, and sunshine to boot. There's nothing worse, I don't think, than May, springtime being like the back end, autumn, October, November. I don't think there's anything as more depressing than that. Because you think, well, you've just gone through a long winter, and Now you just want to enjoy the short, brief, you know, spring and summer. And then when it throws weather at you like it did yesterday, you think, well, bloody hell, we're going back. Anyway. So we're coming up Westway now. Sorry, Westgate. Up to what they call Ghana Top roundabout. They put traffic lights on here some time ago, and we've got a bus lane, but the thing is, when the bus gets through, you can't go anywhere. It's got a red light there. So he's in front, but not much in front. So it'd be better just leaving 2 lanes to me anyway, or 3 lanes coming up here as, for all the traffic, and just get us all through. Anyway, nice and steady. So instead of racing up to the back of the bus like this car driver behind me, he's racing up behind me. You just take your time, and away you go. Nice and steady. Just got to watch for vehicles. They're in right hand lane, and they should be in the left hand lane. It's going on the motorway. There's one here now. It's likely that he's managed a taxi, so he might not be. So, what's this? Time now? Not on that case. But you've just got to be aware that cars are in wrong lane, trying to jump the queue. M65 westbound now. It's 20 past 12. Right, so we're here. We're at Junction 5 Guide in Blackburn. we've arrived back at the mortuary entrance at Royal Blackburn. Back in a moment. So we're going back to transport, finishing off for the day. Just got to check my tyre pressures, and got plenty of fuel. So I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of my video, and it's giving you some information that you found useful. I haven't bored you too much. I mean, it's not quite as good as filming on Sylvia. It's nowhere near, but it's a record, and I've got this camera in the car for safety reasons, as backup should anything happen. So normally it's used in the event of a collision or anything on the road as evidence. So yeah, now at the garage, Peter's washing his car. Hey, leave door open please, thank you.